What was like zombie apocalypse stories as analogs for people who
Really just wish to do harm on others. I'm going to use that springboard of a springboard to springboard into this. Because while modern day power fantasy zombie fiction may be about the power fantasy of harming others, zombie fiction evolved as the exact opposite. The horror inherent in zombie fiction is that you are surrounded by people everywhere all the time, unless you live like out in the middle of the woods. And if enough of those people decided randomly that they wanted to hurt you, there isn't a whole lot you can do. Even if they were the stupidest people, even if they were unarmed, even if they had no way of thinking or planning, there's still not a whole lot you can do if a lot of people just want to do harm to you. The overall theme of zombie fiction was the scariest thing about people is people. Which is why in a lot of zombie fiction, it's not the zombies you have to worry about, it's the people. That's how you get characters like Negan from The Walking Dead. Mindless Dead are people at their most basic, and they're terrifying. But one person that's able to think is even more terrifying. In fact, zombies as a myth can be traced back to Haitian culture in the 17th and 18th century. Haitian slaves believed that if you committed suicide, you would never get back to the motherland. You would wake as the Walking Dead and essentially have to be a slave in death, just like you were in life. Zombie mythos came from the oppressed, and it has changed a lot over the years, especially after the 1960s Night of the Living Dead. Even then, they were symbols of the anxieties that culture had at the time. What happens when culture breaks down? What happens when we stop looking after each other? Romero's Dawn of the Dead in the late 70s was explicitly anti-capitalist. 28 Days Later was made in response to the AIDS pandemic. I think it's a little reductive to say that zombie fiction is just an excuse for people to fantasize about hurting people. Because in a way, zombie fiction is portraying how people do hurt people. It's not a fantasy, it is a reflection of what we are doing in the here and now. The zombies show ways that we classify people as other, whether it was slavery, whether it was capitalism, whether it was the sick or disabled. The awful things that can happen when you are suddenly the other, and the masses are the zombies, and suddenly they want to erase you. That is the one thing that has been consistent in zombie fiction. The scariest thing about people is people.